appreciate him. I love him and what he means to recovery, what he means to me, what he means to, I think, hope for the future. And this guy's the real deal. And so I appreciate that. Thank you, Scrim. Y'all know how much I love Suicide Boys, and you especially know how much I love Scrim, and the time that I've gotten to spend with him over the past year has been incredible. It is a blessing from God to me that a guy like me, in the life I'm in, has been able to meet a guy like Scrim and bond and form a friendship. I feel like that holds no bounds on time. Like we can go 6 months, a year without seeing each other. We can go time without talking, and it just clicks right back every time we do. And I appreciate him for that. And I realized something. I've never done a reaction to the closing speech he's done in the concerts Suicide Boys do. And I want to do that today because I think it's the epitome of mental health. And I love what he says in the speeches he gives. And they're all just tweaked a little bit each time with kind of the same general message. But I believe this was Nick, I think, did this one in Houston. Yeah, in Houston, when we were here in our hometown, and right off stage to the side, and got a pretty good view of it. And I want to break this down because I want everybody to know what Scrim wants you to know, and that there is hope, and that there is possibility, no matter where your life's at today, that things can always get better. So let's listen to the speech, let's talk about it, and let's join together in our bond and our love for Suicide Boys and for Scrim, and just knowing that life can turn out really good if you hang in there. Without further ado. Scrim's speech in Houston. That's either me or Tony in the background, y'all, because my son Tony mimics me a lot with the yep, and the yeah. And that was either me or him, but I think it might have been him. But he is my mini-me on that regard.
I'm going to try not to keep y'all too long, because usually whenever I do this, I just start fucking yapping. So
love it, Scrim.
What I would like to tell you is this, from me and Ruby, I would like to tell you this. And look, I just want to let you know, today, I still suffer with anxiety and panic attacks and shit. And today was probably one of the hardest days that I've had. But when I came out here and I seen all you guys helped make that shit go away. So thank you so much.
That is actually the truth, getting to see him in Austin this past weekend and spend a little bit of time with him on the bus. He talked about that, how tough that last week was. We got to see Houston on a Tuesday, San Antonio on a Friday, and Austin on a Saturday. We did kind of a road trip thing to see them this week, and got to talk to him on Saturday night. And he said that was a brutal day. And he, the show must go on, and he's got to get out there. And anxiety, stress, panic, feeling anxious, so much what all of us can go through at different points in life. But you know what he said? Coming out here and seeing y'all and your energy, immediately, that's where his mind got occupied, and he saw that energy, and it's like people giving him a big hug, y'all. That's what the crowd can do for him. And even a guy like Scrim can struggle with feeling anxious, feeling out of sorts, feeling out of control. And that's what I want you to pay attention to in life, because he's going to tell you, I got help. I get help. I keep trying to move forward. I don't just do this on my own. I try to reach out for help in other places so that I can get better and be better in life. So the point is, we all struggle with this. Even though he's not a drug addict, even though an active drug addict anymore, using, he can still have symptoms that create a desire to just break down, run away, escape, or whatever. And he fights really hard to do the things he's learned to get through that. And one of the things that he knows is this crowd feeds him. It is a big hug. It's really cool.
You guys helped make that shit go away. So thank you so much. Now, I know some of y'all can relate, Now, what I would like to tell you is this. If you're familiar with me and Ruby, you know our story. You know the shit that we're talking about in these songs. We're not just talking shit. We've actually lived this shit. So why I'm telling you that is because of this. We know what it's like. We know what it's like to be in a dark place, to feel like there's no hope. The drugs ain't working no more. Nothing is working no more. Nothing's making you happy. And you feel like there's no way you're gonna get out of this hole that you're in. You're gonna get out of this feeling that you're in. You feel so shitty, you can't even get out of bed. You got so much anxiety, you can't even leave the house. We know what that shit feels.
Yeah, like he said before, you know, you can't even brush your teeth, take a shower, you can't do anything. And when everything stops working, I remember him telling me one time, you know, when everything stopped working, I tried the next thing, I tried more of the next thing. I added this to the, every formula possible to use and self-destruct. And everything stopped working. And when everything stopped working and you feel like there's no hope, there's no reason to keep going because everything stopped working, so it's over. That leads him to this point. I know Ruby knows what it feels like to be at that point. And I think everybody in the crowd knows that. Like, they are an example of people who have been at the bottom. And so I try to tell people in my office who are struggling with addiction, who are struggling with relationship issues, who are struggling with, you know, trauma and self-esteem and anxiety, it is very normal to be at the bottom. Just because you're there doesn't mean you need to stay there, though. Really, as bad as your life is today doesn't mean it has to be that way tomorrow. That's the beauty of what he leads. He's so good at this.
You got so much anxiety, you can't even leave the house. We know what that shit feels like. Now, why I'm telling you that is because whatever hope that you have, I hope when you look up here and you see us and we're doing well, we're healthy, we're sober, we're doing better. Thank you, but it ain't about that. I hope when you see us up here, if you're in that spot that I just talked about, please don't ever give up hope. Whatever hope you have, hold on to it with everything you fucking got. If you're hanging on by a thread, you hold on to that motherfucking thread as hard as you fucking can. Do not give up.
You hear him? He's feeling that, and I know he feels that. And I know he feels that for every single person out in that audience, because I was talking to him about just Saturday about all the people around me that were watching and that would applaud or acknowledge at certain points when he was talking about hope and he was talking about I think being at the end of the line. And I feel it right now. It chokes me up because I know he feels it. And I said, man, I got to tell you about these people that I heard around me. And he said, I really appreciate that, Tom, because sometimes I don't know. I feel like I'm talking up there. You know, they have these ear things in that they can't hear super well anyway, but they see you. But he said, just to know that somebody was impacted by that is what matters to me. And that's what I want you to know, is that he really does want you to hang on by a thread, even if it's one thread left to hang on. And I would add to that, to get help. And he adds that too, but to get help. Don't do this on your own. It's so important.
The fucking thread as hard as you fucking can.
Amen.
Do not give up. Don't fucking give up. Now, me and Ruby did not wake up one day and say, oh, hey, I want to quit doing drugs. I want my life to get better. It doesn't work like that. Me and him had to ask people for help and allow people to help us out.
Oh, amen.
So, if you're struggling with it.
You hear that? We have to ask people for help, which, by the way, when you're broken down and at a zero, you don't want to ask anybody for anything. And the second step to that is you have to allow people to help. And allowing people to help means opening up your mind to a new way of living. And you know what that means? Not the way you used to live. That's what's so difficult here. 2 steps: asking for help, which is really vulnerable in terms of putting yourself out there like, I've screwed up, I'm broken, something's wrong with me. And then allowing someone to help who's good at helping you. that's typically not family or friends. It's typically professionals. Allowing someone to help and saying, I'm going to let them lead me and trust? No, because all your trust has been broken down. That's what he's asking you to do. Please do these two things, and I promise you life can get better. He's an example of happiness and of joy today. He's an example of that. You know why? Because he asked for help and because he allowed help to happen. And I can't say it enough. And I think it's part of the reason he and I met is such an oddity of the two of us and where we've come from and how we live and where we've been and what we do. But we bond and we connect and we talk about mental health. We talk about life. We talk about relationships, our relationships. We talk about family. We talk about hopes and we talk about dreams for the future. All of that stuff, all because we held on to hope.
People for help and allow people to help us out. So, if you're struggling with anything, I don't give a fuck what it is, addiction, mental health, family shit,
that's it.
I don't care what it is. Please go and get whatever help you need. Fuck what anyone thinks.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid of it. I know that shit can be scary. That shit is scary as fuck. If you're about to go into detox or rehab or whatever, do not be scared, okay? I promise you, it's so much better on the other side. Why am I yapping about all this? Because I love you guys so fucking much. I love you guys so much, and we know what it's like to feel hurt, and I don't want anyone in here to feel that. So if I helped one person tonight...
That's what he says. If I help one person, it's so true. To be able to, and I say it about what I do in my videos, do you know how many people, easily over 100 people over the past 3 shows that we ran into, easily over 100, took pictures with, and I got to talk to? If you're one of them, thank you for coming up to me and talking to me about hope. And I don't know that these videos ever do anything for anybody until I hear it from you. And I appreciate that. If I helped one person, this last almost 3 years has been worth it. And he says the same thing, that he sees so many people. He just wants you to he wants you to feel good and feel joy.
Feel hurt. And I don't want anyone in here to feel that. So if I helped one person tonight, then I did my fucking job, all right? Now, if what I'm saying, small disclaimer, if what I'm saying does not apply to you at all, you have no problems, you do drugs just fine, you drink just fine, you got no issues in your life, it's kind of weird that you ended up here, but what's up? Glad you're here.
Welcome all.
If what I'm saying does not apply to you, fucking ignore it and keep doing whatever the fuck you're doing. Keep smoking, keep drinking, keep popping, keep doing whatever the fuck you're doing. And I'll see you in AA one day.
That'd be really
it's
cool.
All our motherfucking haters, you pussy ass motherfuckers, sitting on your phone and your keyboard typing on Reddit, typing on Twitter, I know they mad. They see us up here with this jewelry and shit. They hate it. They hate it.
The haters.
They hate it. Give me all the hate you got, but just remember, you can suck our motherfucking dick. And to those I love, thank you for sticking around.
Scrim Speech in Houston never gets old. It didn't get old. I saw it 3 times this week. It never gets old. It's a little bit different every time, which is really cool how he just does what he does. It's not a scripted speech like that. He just says what he feels when he's out there, and I love that so much. I appreciate him. I love him and what he means to recovery, what he means to me, what he means to, I think, hope for the future. And this guy's the real deal. And so I appreciate that. Thank you, Scrim. Thank you, everybody who we got to talk to at these concerts. And thank you most of all to all the people who are daring enough to ask for help and to be willing to let someone help you. Remember, mental health matters. Leave me your comments. Let me know what you think. I want to hear from you. And don't ever give up hope. We'll see you on the next Reaction Therapy.